Pull up any photograph of a crowd from 1970. A train platform, a beach, a factory gate. Now count the overweight people. You'll struggle. Do the same with a photo taken this year, and the count is completely different. Same country, same genes, 50 years. This isn't nostalgia. The numbers exist. In the first National Health Survey of the early 70s, the CDC measured 14.5% of American adults as obese. Today, it's over 40%. Nobody's DNA changed in 50 years. Something in the room did. And almost everyone blames the wrong thing. It isn't sugar. It isn't laziness. Follow. Because the piece most people miss is the one that explains why gyms got fuller while people got heavier. Start with the food supply itself. In 1970, the American food system delivered about 2,050 calories per person per day. By 2010, it delivered around 2,500. That's roughly 450 extra calories sitting in the environment every day, permanently. Here's what that actually means. You never decided to eat more. The default moved, and nobody votes on the default. You can see it clearest in portion size. Researchers at NYU traced marketplace foods back to the size they were when they launched. Burgers, fries, and sodas today come in portions 2 to 5 times larger than the originals. Portions started growing in the 70s, jumped sharply in the 80s, and body weight tracked the same curve. A small today would have been a large in 1970. But portions are the part everyone already knows. The next 3 did the real damage. In 1970, there was a rule nobody wrote down. You don't eat between meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. That was the entire list. Then the Salk Institute handed people a tracking app and logged every single thing they swallowed. Half the participants ate across more than 14.75 hours a day. The 3-meal pattern they reported having was largely absent from the data. In the heaviest snacking group, 10 separate caloric events a day. 10. USDA surveys make the shift exact. In 1977, the average adult ate 1 snack a day, and most adults snacked once or not at all. By 2007, the average was 2.2, and about 9 in 10 adults snacked on any given day. 1 extra snack doesn't sound like much, but it isn't the calories that matter here. It's where it lands. It lands in the evening, in the hours the old rule kept empty. And once something is in there, your body never gets a long stretch with nothing to process, because it only goes looking for stored fuel when no new fuel is arriving. Now, the reason people can't always control their appetite. In 2019, the National Institutes of Health, the largest public medical research agency in the world, ran an experiment most people have never heard of. 20 adults moved into a hospital research unit for a month. Every gram they ate was weighed. 2 weeks on ultra-processed food, 2 weeks on unprocessed food. Both menus matched for calories offered: sugar, fat, salt, and fiber. On paper, the 2 diets were the same. On the ultra-processed menu, people ate 508 extra calories a day. Nobody asked them to. They gained about 1 kilogram in 2 weeks and lost about the same on the whole food menu. And here's the part that should stop you. They didn't report being hungrier. Their fullness scores were the same. They didn't even rate the food as tastier. So what was the mechanism? Speed. On processed food, they took in around 48 calories a minute. On unprocessed food, 31. Modern food is soft. It barely needs chewing. Your gut needs roughly 20 minutes to tell your brain you're full. If the plate empties in 10, the signal arrives too late to matter. Food in 1970 fought back. Bones, skins, crust, fiber. Eating was work. Today, more than half of all calories Americans eat come from ultra-processed food. Which brings us to the mistake almost everyone makes. People say we moved more in 1970. True, but not the way you think. They did not exercise more. Leisure exercise has gone up in recent decades. Gym membership rose, running boomed, and obesity rose right alongside it.
Here's where the movement actually went. Researchers analyzed 5 decades of U.S. labor data. In the early 60s, about half of private sector jobs required at least moderate physical activity. By 2008, under 20% did. That shift alone removed roughly 140 calories a day from the average man's output. And there's a second loss nobody counts. A 45-year study of women's time use found that housework, cooking, cleaning, laundry, burned around 360 fewer calories a day by 2010 than in 1965. In 1970, the calories were burned by the day itself, not by a workout. You cannot add 300 calories a day back with 3 sessions a week. That isn't a gym problem. It's a shape of life problem. One last piece, and it closes the circle. In the mid-60s, a woman who cooked spent close to 2 hours a day on food. By 2008, about 1. And the kitchen kept losing ground. In 1970, around a third of every food dollar in America went to food prepared outside the home. In 2024, it hit an all-time record, almost 59%. Cooking isn't only a way of making food. It's the moment somebody decides how much food there is. When you cook, that somebody is you. You choose what goes in the pan. You choose what goes on the plate. When the meal arrives already made, that decision was taken before you ever saw it. And here's what almost nobody knows about that decision. Of every dollar Americans spend in restaurants, the food itself accounts for about 7 cents. 7. The rest is labor, rent, packaging, delivery, marketing. Which means adding more food to your plate costs the seller almost nothing and makes the offer look better than the one next door. Nobody in that chain is trying to make you overeat. They're answering a different question than you would. You ask how much you need. They ask how much makes the price feel worth paying. So the portions stopped being something you choose and became a size you're handed. Mine of it arrived as a temptation. It arrived as a default. So here's how you rebuild 1970 conditions. 3 things, and none of them is a diet. First, close the window. Decide the hour you stop eating and hold it. For most people, the real gap between first bite and last is close to 14 hours. Bring it to 12. You're not removing a meal, you're removing the tail. The eating that happens after dinner, which is almost never hunger. Second, make food fight back. 1 meal a day should require chewing. Whole vegetables, meat on the bone, fruit with the skin, nuts. Not puree, not a bar. You're not trying to eat less, you're trying to eat slower. Slower eats less on its own. Third, rebuild the movement that was subtracted. Not the gym, the day. Stairs, standing, walking the last stretch, carrying your own bags. That's where the calories went, and that's the only place they come back. People in 1970 weren't disciplined. Most of them smoked, drank, and had never read a nutrition label in their lives.
They were thin because their environment made overeating hard. Ours makes it hard not to. That's not a moral failure. It's a design problem, and design can be changed. Follow next video. What actually happens inside your body if you cut sugar for 30 days, week by week?